All right, what is up, you guys?
Hey,
Welcome back.
Diligent.
What's up? Um, we are live on YouTube and on X. Um, after a week of technical difficulties, had a tornado, had spaces were broken for me yesterday, last night, and then today I had to finagle a way to start the space, but all good. Lots to talk about, lots to cover. I am on the road, so I'm at an Airbnb, so don't mind the setup. But do me a favor, go down to the comment section and hit that repost button. Really big news: Candace Owens dropped all of the video and photo evidence that she had for Charlie Kirk's assassination today. That's pinned to my profile if you want to go check it out. We're going to take a look at that. I really, really want to take a look at that um, to be able to slow, instead of just recording it when she was streaming. I want to slowly dissect it because there was some interesting tidbits in there that we could not see from any other angle, right? So she had a video of the camera that was directly behind Charlie Kirk's head. Now, Carol Farnsworth, who is a independent contractor or employee that works for Turning Point or the Charlie Kirk Show, um, minutes after Charlie was shot, he climbed on, Charlie's bloody chair, got up on, took the camera down, and took the SD card out. Well, at some point in time during the conversation, they or during his conversation with Candace, I guess he offered to let her watch that video on an iPad or something, and she screen recorded it. So they released that today, and there were some interesting things about that. Blood isn't clearly visible coming out of Charlie's neck. I did notice, and some of our audience did see that there is it looks like there is a little bit of blood blotchy spots on the back of his shirt, but nothing like you would expect. There's nothing that indicates that the bullet exited out the back of his neck, which is incredibly important because the government's position is that a 30-06 bullet is what took Charlie out. Now, if you've never shot firearms before, okay, a very standard munitions round for soldiers is 223 or 556, right? Which is it's a small rifle round about yay big, right? Maybe about 2.5, 2.25 inches. A 30-06 round, for comparison, in contrast, is like 4 inches, right? And almost like three, or maybe, I don't know, it's multiple times in diameter, right? The bullet is just, it's massive compared to what a normal right rifle round would be if you bought like an AR platform on the from your local sporting goods store, right? And so a very common rifle round is the 556. I think it's like one of the most common in the United States, right? So they for them to say that this was a 556 or a 30-06. It's mind blowing to me. It's mind blowing to me. It's mind blowing to a lot of other people. I think it's the biggest problem with the Tyler Robinson case, right? Is this rifle. So, because according to what we found out from Candace, with Andrew Colvett on the phone and Erika Kirk with the ME, right, the doctor, saying that uh, that this bullet entered Charlie's the front part of his neck, the soft tissue, and then, which to be fair, bullets do um, they do move around once they go inside the neck, except for okay, except for 30-06 bullets, right? These things are used to hunt elk, right? They are used to hunt moose, giant animals, and they blow holes. And these are animals with dense bone structure, thick hide, right, thick skin, and thick sinewy meat. And it blows holes in the backs of these creatures when people are like, 100 yards out. So the biggest issue I think the prosecution has in this case is the gun. You first off, you didn't catch him with the gun, but second of all, it is nearly like I have not seen anybody. There has been for the last 6 months numerous firearms experts, I mean, droves of firearms experts who have tried to replicate this shot. And I mean, over and over and over all day long, trying to get one of these bullets to not penetrate the back of soft tissue, a soft tissue neck, like a well, what happened to Charlie. And so, like, I still to this day, it hasn't been replicated. It has not. Not that I've seen. Many people have tried, but it has not been replicated at all. So we're going to check out this live stream or this clip um, from. I keep trying to bring this guy up. I don't know. Can you bring him up, Harmony? Uh, we're going to check out this video from Candace. I want to slow glow it. If you're on YouTube, share this with your normie friends who are not on X. We don't want, we want to offer something different than what the mainstream or the new media is offering, because apparently they're all mostly paid shills as well, right? It seems like both the legacy and the new media is completely corrupted now. And so I do want to get into there was a shooting in Michigan today, and I think in Virginia, and somewhere else as well. There was like 3 or 4 shootings, and I want to get into. It was at a synagogue in Michigan. Now, apparently, there was no one hurt other than a security guard. A person rammed through the side of the synagogue wall. This was a Temple Israel synagogue in Bloomfield, Michigan, and busted through the side of it and then opened fire apparently, but didn't hit anybody. And armed security there, took him out before he could cause any harm. What's interesting about this story is that the FBI, the FBI has been there just in the last few months training for a mass shooting incident, right? What are the odds? Like, statistically, what is the likelihood that the FBI was just at this synagogue out of the thousands or tens of thousands nationwide? They were in some synagogue in Michigan and just happened to train all of the staff and security there on how to deal with mass shootings. And then what do you know? A month and a half, 2 months later, mass shooting. It's just it's crazy out here. It's crazy out here. What else do we have? We have Richard Kahn, who is Epstein's accountant. He testified before Congress yesterday, and he named names. We'll get into that in a minute. Leon Black, Leslie Wexner, of course, and a few others that aren't as well known. But there are so many more people that should be named, and a bunch of people who are redacted, who should not be redacted, including the Alexander brothers, who are the real estate agents to the stars. They're like celebrity real estate agents. And they were just convicted of sex trafficking and all kinds of heinous crap just this last week. And they were in the Epstein files, redacted by the DOJ, right? So there's a lot to get into here. What else? I think I'm missing one other thing. Let me look. I want to make sure I get it all. Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it for now. Harmony,
Yes.
what do you think about the synagogue getting shot up just weeks after the FBI was there training people on how to deal with an active shooter?
Like you said last week, it's almost like these, I don't, it's like false flag almost. It feels like they think that we're not able to like think for ourselves at this point. So it's just kind of, I think it's fishy. I mean, what do you think?
I think it's fishy. I do want to say, I want to go back to that. Let me pull it up. So the suspect ran a truck into the front doors and hallway of the synagogue. The building caught fire as a result. He had some kind of incendiary device with him. He exited and exchanged gunfire with the armed security. He is now deceased, neutralized in that exchange. One security guard was injured. One security guard was injured and hospitalized with no other casualties. All preschool students and staff, 140 people, were safely accounted for and remained protected during the lockdown. And uh, apparently, this guy was, and I haven't confirmed this, from Lebanon, and um, and Israel is like, or he's Lebanese, and Israel is currently, I believe, they're engaged in like attacks on Lebanon, like they're over there engaged in warfare. So if that's the case, it makes sense. It sucks that he would go to a place where there's kids and schools. But whether or not it's a false flag, I think it's too early to tell.
Well,
Given
they get to pass laws as well once things like this happen, and it's almost like since all of our attention is kind of focused on what's going on in the Middle East, it's like all these like, you know, they just pass laws so that our freedom of speech goes away.
yeah, I mean that's true. If we let it, I think that people aren't buying it. I mean, there is a I saw, maybe it's just because of my following or whatever, the audience. I saw a bunch of people saying, "We ain't falling for this false flag, false flag." So I think that people are too skeptical of this kind of crap today. I have to be honest. Um, I'm pretty skeptical right off the get. So I get it. Destiny, do you have any comment on that? I don't know if you're busy.
Well, I mean, I'll comment on it. I think that with when stories like this that are involving, synagogue shootings, and we're in a war with Iran and stuff, I think it's just a really intelligent thing to take time and let the story fully envelop before we start making too many assumptions, because the entire purpose of these things is reactions. So, just level headed. I myself haven't dug deeply into it. I know what happened, but I haven't dug deeply into it. And because I don't know the full information and it's a very sensitive political time, I'm just waiting for the information to come full circle before I engage.
You don't have any comment on BB saying that they're waiting for the coming of the Messiah, but it's not going to happen by Thursday.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean he's been doing this like Messiah talk for a while. A lot of people over there, but the Thursday joke I think was um, kind of funny for Benjamin Netanyahu. You know, he's actually not very funny, but that was kind of like, okay, you got
Probably
kind of
the
got
funniest
jokes.
thing I've heard him say. Right?
Yeah, it really is. The pager wasn't funny, but this is kind of funny.
That's the pager. I forgot about the pager. That's so interesting. Again, the video that we're about to watch. So I do want to get into it. I think I was going to wait. We have about 200 people in the space. It's fine. If you want to watch along, I will repost my Diligent Spaces live stream. You can either go to YouTube or I have a live stream going on. I have a live stream going on. Diligent Spaces is the account. I can't repost it yet, but the YouTube is live. So if you want to watch along this video with us and see my ugly mug, that is how you do it. So I do want to get into this clip. Candace does narrate it. It's about 8 minutes long, and then we'll go from there. But there's a lot to get into here. It brings up, like, there's this guy who is standing right there with a camera, and I don't think we've seen that video. I mean, he is right there in front of Charlie. So we get a perspective now that none of us have seen. We had a brief glimpse when she shared a few of the stills the first time that she, shared these screenshots from the video from the camera behind Charlie. And I still am wondering, like, why is Terrell Farnsworth not under scrutiny for removing the SD card from this camera and then sharing the footage, right? How is that not tampering with evidence? This is a homicide scene, right? This is a crime scene, an active homicide scene, and there were police present. So why was this non-police officer, right, non-authority, not only allowed to, pretty much staged to, like they set it up so he could do this? Why would he be allowed to remove some of the most crucial video evidence in a homicide? It blows my mind. All right, so we're gonna get into this. Let me get it going here. It's up on the screen on YouTube.
Inside the van, we had only
sure we're good here.
showed one. I'm going to show you.
Hey
this
guys,
one
if you could just
here,
like and
so
repost
that
the
you guys
space.
can
Oh,
take
sorry
this.
about that.
Here is a closer bit. I do want to point out
No,
that
you're good.
it does very much look to me like there was some sort. All right, so first let us begin with the photos inside the van. We had only showed one. I'm going to show you this one.
So this is the SUV that took Charlie out. Now, it took him to the hospital. What's really interesting about this, there's almost there's some blood in here, but not like you would expect from a hit to the jugular. That's a major artery. Like when you get hit in an artery, it's not like you just casually bleed. Like when you get a cut or a stab or a poke or whatever, it shoots out. And so for there to be in the scene, what we've seen of the scene, and then now this is where he was put into the back of this SUV and then taken to the hospital there in Orem. You'll see there's not really a whole lot of blood to be seen. Why is that? It's so strange, but we shall continue
here so that you guys can take this. Here is a closer bit. I do want to point out that it does very much look to me like there is some sort of shattered glass in the back. I know some people think that this could be a part of his mic that he had on him. And so I just want to say that I do see that all across the back seat, which is interesting. And I know some people are working, Baron Coleman being one of them, working on.
So Baron Coleman is like, what's up with all of these mints, right? And then these are shards of broken plastic or something, right? And because of the resolution of the video on X, it's a 1080p, so you can't really make it out. But these little black spots here, these are crumbles of plastic that were residual from when Charlie was back there. Now, Candace and Baron Coleman and a whole lot of other people are trying to figure out what this is, right? And these mints, like, it's so weird. And then obviously you see there's like a jacket or some kind of shirt or something there that's drenched in blood from that day. So we'll continue.
Trying to examine why they told the story about how Brian Harpole was hanging out of the SUV, which wasn't the circumstance when they pulled out. So it's a bit confusing. Hopefully this helps. Here is another photo. And I should have said viewer discretion advise. They had told us this story about how they had so much gauze and so much and all this stuff. We were able to find basically what you see in the corner there that kind of looks like a UPS ticket, like a UPS, I guess you could say a UPS package ticket. What that is actually Instaclot, and which is essentially instant gauze in this.
So now you can see evidence of blood residue all over the side here and of course, if you're squeamish, look away. But this appears to be dry blood residue. It actually looks more like plasma than it does blood. And then she's saying that this is a Instaclot. Now, if you don't know what Instaclot is, it is a substance that is given to soldiers and other high-risk individuals to clot wounds. Like you pack the wound with it and then it expands kind of like a foam substance. and it clots it all up right there so you don't continue to bleed out. This is the only, and I think I'm correct here, this is the only evidence that we have of them treating Charlie on the way to the hospital, right? Is this like, she's like, where's the bandages? Where's the rags? Where's all of the mess that goes along with? I mean, I have been in fights. I have seen other people fight where there's just an enormous amount of blood. Like sometimes just accidents will look like a homicide scene. There's so much blood everywhere. It's not to be found. It's not to be found on the scene. It's not to be found on the sidewalk. It's not to be found in the car. Where is it? Where is it? It's really strange. I've been there, right? I've seen the concrete. I've seen where they paved over it, right? They paved over the crime scene 3 days, 4 days, 5 days later. But where's the evidence that they were conducting first aid on Charlie? There's not a whole lot there.
Just one on the floor. So unless he opened one and then put the rest of the packaging in his bag, which would be unusual, there's only one on the floor there that we could see. Hopefully, again, having looked through these photos and taking a look around, if you are one of the people, and this is another side angle, if you are one of the people that has been working on this story, you can, hopefully I'll just see you in the online universe and I can share these photos with you because again, this now feels important and I have no understanding as to why Turning Point USA would not share every piece of footage they have. Obviously, the feds are not telling us the truth. And also, Kash Patel has been caught lying. I don't understand how Kash Patel is still in office, but I guess everyone is just, if you lie for the right people, which seems to always be Israel, then you will be protected. Even if you rape people, which we've just learned, you will be protected somehow, redacted at the very least. Now we're going to get into this video. This is a long video. I told you guys how this happened, how I came about this.
The understory on YouTube says, I've cut my leg shaving and have seen more blood than what's at the scene.
At the beginning, I didn't suspect.
I've never shaved my legs.
Obviously, that all changed
I concur.
After I had a phone call with Terrell. I recognized he was acting very strange on the phone, lying, saying he didn't know how to send a file. I was genuinely reaching out to him because I thought I could help clear his name because people thought he was suspicious for taking down the camera. And I thought he was going to give me a perfectly reasonable reason as to why he did that. Like, oh, I was just instructed by the Fed or something to do that. And I was nervous. Nope. Just excuse after excuse. And I didn't understand why there would be any reason he was lying, saying he didn't know how to send a file, but you run an audio-visual company, Terrell Farnsworth. Now I've learned about his dad and his uncles and his cousins and their relationship with Lori Franzfey dating back to 2013. And it's all not looking good. None of this is looking good. Anyway, let's get to some of this video now. We're going to scrub through this, but we'll show you. Let's get to the first few minutes of this, and then I'm going to show you some other parts. Remember, I'm on screen record here, so you can get to this. And by the way, I think at some point they said they didn't have the footage. They have the footage. Okay, this is.
Just want to say for the record here, this is not gory. You can't. First off, they have clipped some of this. Someone asked me, and I see you down there, Crimes and Lies. Someone asked me why this black part here. And I just reposted the X Live link. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, you can actually go to my profile right now and watch. Or you can go to the YouTube. Both of the links are there. So yeah, but please repost the space. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button and share it around. And but there's this black part here. I actually kind of think, and I'm not really familiar with is it the iVideo chat? What is that called? Harmony?
iChat. I'm sorry.
iChat?
I'm sorry, are you talking about YouTube?
FaceTime.
Oh, FaceTime, yeah.
Yeah, FaceTime. So is this I don't know if you can see, maybe you can go to my profile. Is there a block there where you can I imagine this is probably Terrell Farnsworth's face, right? Because doesn't it show like a mini can't you, like, doesn't it show both people's faces on the screen? Yeah, so that's FaceTime, right? So maybe
I
she
believe it's FaceTime,
so
yeah.
maybe she has Terrell Farnsworth minimized and that's his face on the screen. But if we know it's Terrell Farnsworth, why would you redact that? So it's a valid question. I'm gonna ask her, uh, just because so many of my audience are asking why is this redacted? Because they're accusing her of stuff, and I'm like, that's the only reasonable explanation I can think of is that this black spot is Terrell Farnsworth, and that's
I
why it's
mean, it is
there.
a graphic video. Maybe they just don't want it to be seen, like, with it. You know what I mean? Him getting shot. It's, like, pretty brutal.
To have his face there when it's happening, that's a
Yeah,
good
it's like,
point.
here's my face, and then here's Charlie dying. It's just kind of
So
wrong.
it doesn't show the blood though. Like this isn't a graphic video. You kind of see,
I don't see the blood squirting,
well,
which
it
is
hasn't happened
odd.
yet. It hasn't happened yet. Let me start it.
Terrell was at his
All right,
office
Okay.
when he showed me this. And here we go. You can just play this. And if you guys are just on audio, you'll obviously need to come cut this on video because I can't really describe. Obviously, the question is being asked. At this moment right here, we had assumed initially that was his recorder or something. I can confirm, you'll see later, that it's whipping fast and it looks white when it whips fast, but that is in fact his necklace. That is his necklace. And I find that for some reason to be very strange that the necklace goes up first.
I had
You can
my
see this
mug
obviously.
to I had my mug in the way, so I'm going to
Scrub
start
through this,
over.
but we'll show you. Let's get to
I had my screen on YouTube too big, so we'll start over. So you can kind of see it's interesting.
you can get to this. And by the way, I think at some point they said they didn't have the footage. They have the footage. Okay. This is Terrell was at his office when he showed me this. And here we go. You can just play this. And if you guys are just on audio, you'll obviously need to come cut this on video because I can't really describe. Obviously, the question is being asked. At this moment right here, we had assumed initially that was his recorder or something. I can confirm, you'll see later, that it's whipping fast and it looks white when it whips fast, but that is in fact his necklace. That is his necklace. And I find that for some reason to be very strange that the necklace goes up first. You can see this obviously. And by the way, there's no gore in this. So you don't really need viewer discretion because like I said, which kind of broke the internet, the bullet didn't go through, and not only did not go through, it didn't even cause any sort of a mess. His perfectly white t-shirt was white until the moment that he hit the ground. Skylar, we can get to that portion, I guess, where they can more clearly see the, well, first we can show them the magnet that's still on him. I guess we'll get to that. Yeah, there you go. We can pause there.
So that's
You can see
gonna
that is his necklace.
so the necklace is a big deal for all the I love my boys. For all the conspiracy theorists out there, the magnet for the microphone is also a big deal for all of the quote unquote conspiracy theorists out there. A lot of different theories involve this Rode microphone that he had, a lapel microphone. What it is you have a square unit. I actually own the same one. You have this square kind of pager looking, which is why people are obsessed with it. This pager looking microphone device that has a clip on it, and it has a really strong little square magnet. And you put the device on one side of the cloth of your shirt, right, and then the magnet on the other, and that sticks it together. And I mean, it holds tight, like it is strong. And so he had this device underneath his collar of his shirts, and then he had this square on top of it. And as you can see from what she just showed, the
And
magnet
it's
the magnet makes the trip. It actually survives. People were thinking, oh well, it shot off and hit him in the neck or something. You'll see in this video that it survives. Also, this necklace is really funny, right? It is really strange. The FBI was asking, where's the necklace? Where's the necklace? You have all of these different theories about where the necklace is. Gosh, I should get Sam Parker in here and Blake. there's so many different theories about this necklace. It is insane, right? It is insane. So the necklace is important as well. So all of the video links, the live feed, what we're watching, this video, everything is up in the Jumbotron on X Spaces. So if you want to go watch along or check it out, it's up there.
They can see that that is his necklace, and it's I don't know how to describe that. I don't know if you would say it's still on him. There was a lot of story. Everybody had a personal story about Charlie's necklace, which struck me as very odd. Okay. It struck me as odd because, you know, Erika, Frank tells the story about how he came out to get his backpack from the car as the feds were searching it at the hospital. And he saw Charlie's necklace on his backpack, which was in the car. And the feds said, "We were looking for that necklace." Really? Why were the feds looking for the necklace? How did they know he had a necklace? That's very strange. Erika, of course, has told several stories about the necklace and how precious the necklace was to him, and how grateful she was that she got the necklace back. I think maybe even Brian Harpole had a story about that. I got to go back and look through it. But everyone's got a story about the necklace. It seems like a strange focus of this day. And so I want to just point that out, that it is the necklace that is hanging. You can see that. And maybe you can see it clearer when it's on my phone. So like I said, I'm happy to send around, but you can at some points even see and observe the chain. Again, this is after Charlie is hit. So you are seeing zero blood heading backward. That feels wrong to me. That instantly felt wrong to me for what they are telling us took. Place here, which is a 30-06. It's not even enough to pretend that this was like an event where it already is, I would say, insane to try to say this was some miracle event and, you know, Charlie's neck stopped this. It gets even crazier when you say, but it didn't even cause any blood. Everything you saw was blood that came because an artery got hit and that went forward. So I just want to say that. I will never buy the narrative that a 30-06 is what killed Charlie Kirk. I'm just not accepting that narrative whatsoever. We can continue and we can sort of point out
As are
some
most people
more
not buying
here. I just keep going through here. Okay, you can see Charlie was not down. He was always also upward, which stuff about, we can kind of look close at that. Is that a recorder? The magnet clasp right there. Some people were wondering. Some people thought that the magnet clasp. I know there was a lot of stuff about the magnet clasp. That's it. It's still on him. I know those things are very powerful, and
So that is definitive evidence that the magnet is still attached to him, which means that the other side of the magnet is still attached on the bottom side of the shirt. The device might not be attached to that, but at least the clasp part and the part on the front, the magnet, those are still attached to each other during the shot. So this thing many people thought it flew off. People were thinking that it went up. It's what went up when they're saying this was an exploding device that hit him in the neck. That's a wrap. This is no longer a part of how Charlie Kirk was assassinated, unless under this device, underneath the the parallel part, the sister part to this magnet, right? Unless that is attached to a device that is now exploded, This is no longer a working theory. That's what she's saying there. And there's going to be a lot of people upset about that one. Let's continue.
I think John Bray explained to me that the magnet class
Repost the space, everybody, please. The bottom right corner. Thank you.
Theory, and I think I would say it's a well-adopted theory that a well-adapted theory that the Rode microphone is what was shattered in the backseat of the car. And so I wanted to show that as well so you guys could see that. We can keep scrubbing through here. Only, as you can see on his hand, because blood went forward, is only place that you see any blood drops here. Whipping again, for sure. You can see Dan actually pushes him, by the way. Dan takes him to the ground, which he should do, but I think it's important to note that. You can see what's on the table there, which I think is good too, from what's behind the table, in case there's any clues here. Some people thought that that guy had grabbed something on the table, and I had confirmed to you that he did not, because I saw that. And when he slides across, you want to go back to that slide so they can see that, Sky? Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing on the table that he grabs. There's a book. It looks like maybe Charlie had a notebook. It looks like, I don't know if there's a way to like slow that down a bit. Yep, there you go. You can see when his hands first come on the table, he does not grab anything. So that is a conspiracy theory that we can shut down. Okay. And we can keep going. Have any other points here people might want to know? There we go. You can see kind of what's around him more broadly. Speakers. There we go. Yeah, I think. Okay. And then beyond that, we just have some crowd shots, and you can show some of that as well. Like to scrub there. And we're just scrubbing through the parts that are just obviously paused me talking. I
want you to see this kid right here. Now, this is the speaker. I forget his name. It's eluding me right now. Let me get no sound on YouTube. Okay, I'll start it up. I'll get it fixed. My bad, y'all. It's from Grok. Me right now. Let me get no sound on YouTube. Okay, I'll start it up. I'll get it fixed.
What I'm seeing in the video is like the only blood you really see is on his hand when he's holding the microphone. You don't really see anything like you did when you were facing head on, which is kind of odd. While Diligent is doing that, guys, please repost this space. It's a USA space by people from America, so we love to have you. Thank you.
There we go. Now we got it going. YouTube, let me know if the sound is good. And we will continue.
All right. And so that's it.
No, I don't have any sound. Can you hear
it? I feel.
I can hear you, but not Grok.
There we go.
That it is our duty to share that with the public.
So we'll start over again. I want to go back. There's a few things.
All right. So
here
first,
that
let us begin with the photos.
So if you go to the comments on my profile
inside the van,
people brought up some interesting things. Now I am gonna message Candace. I'll message her during the space and let her know that people are wanting a clarification here. This is printed in my profile. If you want to go along with this, you can see here. This is the guy standing directly in front of Charlie. He is right next to the guy who's asking him. I mean, he is directly right there. And let me just say that the barrier right here is only maybe like 8 to 10 feet in front of Charlie. I mean, he has. So this is probably the closest first person front view of Charlie's face as he takes a hit. And you can see there, I mean, that's he is right there. And so I have not seen that video. There he is. You see him? He is. Oh no, he's right here. I'm sorry. He's directly in front of Charlie, right there. So yeah, I would love to see that video. Not that I want to see Charlie, getting hit, but look what's trending. False flag is trending on X right now. Imagine that. See, people aren't buying it, Harmony. All right, let's go down. So this is a picture of Charlie with his security team. Let me see if I can, it doesn't expand it. Anyways, that is a picture of Charlie with his security team. That guy posted it. This girl said, it's so clear. This is where the projectile came from. That's stupid. There is, what's this one say? Please explain to me how a man shot in the neck continues to hold the microphone tightly in his hand. In fact, is it holding it up in the air, showing muscle contraction to push against gravity? How is this possible? Electricity would be one reason. Any other answers? So they want to know how I would imagine that if you take a shot, if you're in shock, you probably clench, right? I imagine you probably have a nervous reaction and clench. I don't really know. But we'll see. But I thought these were interesting. So here's what I was going to show you. Why does the back of his shirt have a red spot on it? So it does appear. And then this person says it's Dan's thumb. Good catch. See that? It's a thumb. So it's not blood. So yeah, it doesn't look like there is any blood. I haven't seen any blood. That was the thing I wanted to check in the comments, where all these different people put in these like amazing, and I am looking in the comments below. Tag Harmony, and Harmony, you can call out any comments that you see, or if there's anything that I need to pull up and look at, just let me know. But I don't see any. This kid, Hunter Novak, that's his name. I just remembered. So this is the guy, and he's sketchy as hell too. You see this gesture he's making. There's video of him leading up to the event where he's practicing making that gesture. So weird. Yeah, see, this is Chica Bonita. This guy was acting his reaction before Charlie Kirk took stage. Very sus, to say the least. How did she get these photos? Why are these people? Turning Point employee Terrell Farnsworth shared this stuff with her. People are, I don't know, trolls, man. The trolls are going to troll. But yeah, bottom right corner, repost space. Okay, I want to take one more look at this video.
I'm going to show you this one here.
So let me show you this
one here.
So let me pull through here. So I don't see. Let's talk Zorro. Did you have anything you wanted to add? Zorro? Can anybody hear me?
Hey, yes, sorry, I didn't realize that I was in the speaker position. I'm just listening, taking it in. Glad to see that there's new footage that we can evaluate and see if any of our previous theories stick. And indeed, it's very odd. I find the amount of blood that there's so little, because if an artery bursts from the people that came around your space, as we heard, there should be pools of blood.
Yeah, and I want to use Grok real quick for a second. Grok, give the spaces intro, and then answer me a question about how much blood spatter can we expect from a hit on the carotid artery by a 30-06 at 150 yards? I don't hear anything.
I don't hear anything either. I was just about to let you know.
I don't know if she's. I never know if Grok's going to work. I don't hear any. I'll try it. A second. Hold on. I might have to restart this.
Session.
Restart this session. Yeah.
You asked the question perfectly, though. I'm like, I hope you can remember that.
It's so annoying when it does this. Harmony, do you what do you think happened with Charlie Kirk?
Well, actually, I remember being on a space with you within the hour that it happened last year, and I clearly remember the blood, how graphic it was, and there were people in your space that were saying, "Oh, he could survive that shot." And I was one of the only people to be like, with that amount of blood, I don't think he survived, you know, and people got upset because they still wanted to hold out
Maybe he
hope.
was drained out before. I mean, if it was that critical of a hit, maybe he was drained out before. Before it could. I just don't know.
I know they hauled him off and put him in the back of a black, SUV, and that was it. That was the last time we saw the body.
I think I have it. Let's see what happens. Grok, give the spaces intro.
Hey, I'm Grok, powered by XAI, ready to tackle your questions in real time. Prompt me with Grok and your question. Listeners, follow the host and repost this space. Disclaimer, this uses Grok's voice model via third party. XAI does not endorse outputs. Verify everything independently. Official thread shared at end. All right, space is live. Fire away.
I'm not hearing anything, Diligent.
Grok, is there typically a lot of blood spray from a shot in a deer's neck at 30, from a 30-06 at 150 yards?
Pulling primaries. Stand by. Fresh polls. Ballistics forums, hunter videos, necropsy reports, cross-checked. No high-profile anomalies flagged, so no audit trigger. Short answer, yes, but not Hollywood spray. At 30 yards, .306 hits the neck, carotid or jugular. You'll see a solid mist or jet, maybe 6 to 12 inches wide, lasting half a second. Not geyser level unless you clip the heart artery too. Distance drops velocity a hair, but 30 yards is close. Muzzle energy still around 2,000 foot-pounds. Blood pressure pushes it out fast. Key factors: shot placement, neck artery versus muscle. Artery is dramatic exit spray. Muscle is drip or low arc. Angle, broadside versus quartering. Quartering cuts spray. Deer size, big buck, bigger vessels, more volume. Crowdsource clips, X, YouTube, show consistent. Red plume, not fountain. Confidence, 78%. Moderate to high. Primary videos match, but no lab-grade pressure logs. Want a specific clip pulled?
Grok, I want you to forego an exhaustive audit for the next one. I want you to tell me typically how fast does a full-grown man, let's say 180 pounds, bleed out, or as close as you can get, bleed out when the jugular or carotid is completely ruptured?
Got it. Skipping exhaustive audit, keeping it tight and real. A full-grown guy, 180, carotid or jugular fully severed, you're looking at 2 to 5 minutes tops before he's lights out. Usually closer to 3 if nothing else is hit. Here's why. Carotid's pumping at about 5 liters a minute under pressure. Rupture it clean, and you lose half your blood volume in 90 seconds flat. Jugular's slower, maybe 3 liters, but still drops you fast. 200 milliliters a heartbeat if it's wide open. Real-world data, ER trauma logs, battlefield reports, most exsanguinate under 4 minutes without pressure. If he's upright, gravity speeds it. Lying down, maybe buys 30 seconds. No Hollywood slow-mo. Brain shuts down when blood pressure tanks below 50 systolic. Confidence, 85%, moderate to high. Primaries are autopsy summaries and trauma studies. No raw video of clean cuts, but the math holds. Anything else?
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, that's true. So, within 1 to 1.5 gallons of blood lost, your heart stops, and it could be as fast as 60 to 90 seconds, as fast as. But if it's carotid artery completely blown out, it depends on how fast the heart's pumping. But yeah, the heart will slow down, stop, and you'll lose consciousness once the blood pressure gets below 50. That's correct. She's right.
What do you think about the? Did you see the video?
No, I just came in, and I was trying to watch on YouTube and going next at the same time.
Go ahead, beautiful.
A quick clot pad on the floor of the SUV.
Yes, ma'am.
So that would stop or at least halt and suppress the bleeding.
Well, I mean, it would depend on if it was applied there on the scene where he was shot at the table, or if it was applied back in the back of the vehicle, right? Because there's at least a minute there he could have bled out.
Right, that's true.
Was it a quick clot patch or a plunger?
It looked like a patch.
It looked like it was a patch.
Okay, yeah, the plunger is what goes into an open chest wound, and so it's absorbed into the body. It's a protein. It's made out of shrimp shells. It works really good though.
Just noticed that we have 300 people in here, 250 people in here, and 50 reposts. If you guys go to the comment section, hit that repost. But I'm working on getting Bay Sam Parker and 742 and Blake Banderas in here because they have like an ongoing discussion regarding this, like these theories, the microphone, and all that stuff. Grok,
Out before.
tell us how
Yeah,
these
I'm here.
quick
What's up?
stop. Tell us how these quick stop blood clot patches work. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I think they're called quick clot.
Yeah, Quick Clot, spot on. It's the go-to for field trauma. Zeolite powder baked into gauze, sucks blood moisture out, ramps up clotting cascade. Not shrimp shell, that's Celox, but same idea. Press it in, hold tight, seals arterial bleeds in under 2 minutes if you don't fumble. Real talk. Neck wound like that, even with Quick Clot, you're racing the clock. First 30 seconds are brutal. Pressure's gotta be bone deep, no air gaps. If they got it on fast, he might have lasted 3-4 minutes before crash. You see the video yet? If it's the one I'm picturing, table, blood spray, looks like they did it right. But yeah, that initial gush, no patch stops that cold. Confidence, 86%. Product manuals and trauma studies line up. Need me to grab the exact Quick Clot specs or a training vid?
How do the quick clots hold up to arterial wounds? She can't hear me. Can someone else ask?
Yeah. So with tactical combat casualty care, Grok, how well do quick clots?
Harmony, can you ask?
Yeah, Tactical Combat Casualty Care, TCC, loves Quick Clot. It's standard issue now. Army, Marines, even SWAT. How well does it work? Damn good. Studies show it stops 95% of junctional bleeds, like neck, groin, armpit, when packed right and held for 3 minutes. Not magic. If the artery's shredded, you still get leakage around the edges, but it buys time. Turns a 2-minute death into 5, 10, maybe more if medevac's close. Real world, Iraq, Yeah, Quick Clot holds up pretty damn well on arterial wounds, but it's not bulletproof. For a clean carotid or femoral rip, like what we'd see in a neck shot, studies show it stops bleeding in 85 to 95% of cases when you pack it tight, hold pressure 3 minutes, then wrap. That buys you 5 to 15 minutes, depending on how bad the tear is. Limits? If the artery's blown wide, like shredded by a high-velocity round, some blood still leaks around the edges. You need a pressure dressing on top, or it oozes. And yeah, neck's a nightmare. Too much pressure chokes him. Too little and he's gone. Real data. TCCC field reports. 2010's Afghanistan. Carotid hits with quick clot plus tourniquet, if possible, got guys to surgery alive. Success rate drops if you wait past 30 seconds to apply. First gush is brutal. Confidence? 89%. Moderate to high. DoD trauma registry and peer-reviewed papers. J Trauma Acute Care Surge. Back it. No raw video of every case, but stats are solid. Want the exact protocol steps?
So Desert Rose asked this. Remind me, why do we not have any footage from the hospital? I want to see the guys, and if they're covered in blood. The FBI went to the hospital and took all of the footage. That's why we don't have any footage from the hospital. It was confiscated by the FBI alongside pretty much every other bit of crucial evidence. So there is that. JJ, it looks like you have your hand up. Do you?
No, sir.
Okay. Um, you're a firearms guy, right, JJ?
Yes, sir. Former sniper.
Uh, what is the likelihood in your experience that this guy, that Charlie Kirk, was shot with a 30-06, given that there is no evidence of an exit wound?
0. There's no way. Too many people I know try to recreate it, and the ballistics just don't match. It's against physics. There's no possible way. There's no way. None. I mean, 3,000 feet per second. I don't care if you're 600 meters away. The kinetic energy is like 1,900 foot-pounds per square inch, and that would just blow straight through everything. It, like I said, it goes through half-inch light steel. The only thing that'll stop it is AR 500. You know, it's a level 4 level 4 plate. That's the only thing that'll stop it. It's insane. 30-06 has more kinetic energy than the 308. I mean, it's just, yeah, this is crazy. There's no way. I would give all my Bitcoin if someone can make it happen again. And
I think that there has been numerous attempts to replicate what we observed here, and I don't think anybody has been able to achieve it. Have you heard of anybody?
hundreds have tried it. They've gotten ballistic gel. They've used animal bones. I mean, they've shot through concrete. Um, it goes straight through and hits the concrete too, and it goes to the center block. I mean, yeah, the power of a 30-06. This is impossible. That's what you said from day one. That's an exit one. Plus, you can see the neck. Expanding, and that's the shock wave as it goes through the neck before you see the exit wound. And so you could tell in slow motion that when the neck balloons and then you see the exit with the blood, that's because the bullet went in, the shock wave caused the expansion of the neck, and then as the bullet goes out, the blood follows the round as it leaves. That's why you saw the gushing of the blood from his left.
Well, that is Blake in here. Get up here, Blake. He changed his profile picture. I didn't recognize him.
Diligent, I have a question. Why do you think they want that particular like gun? Why do you think they chose that? Because of the distance, or I'm not sure why that bullet is so important.
I don't know.
It's the
I
only
mean,
one that was registered in their name, in the family's name, the only one he had access to. Anything else, he'd have to prove how did he get it, where did he get it. So that was
Do
his.
they want to ban that gun, JJ?
oh. So remember the grandma told me more. She said that it was a gift. Like all of the grandsons got guns as gifts. That was the one that was given to Tyler. So the question is, is it because it's the only gun that Tyler had? Or is the question is it the only gun that the feds could say Tyler had? That's the question, right? Because you have to be able to explain where he got it from.
Right. And doing a reverse search on a 4473, he would have to have actually done that. This would have taken months or years to go back. And you can't go to a gun store and make a fake 4473 because then it's going to coincide with the NICS check when he bought the gun. Yeah. So it'd have to be a gift or something. There's always a record.
It was a gift. The grandfather started losing his edge because of health reasons, and so he apparently has a whole collection of guns and divided them up amongst the grandchildren, except for the and I should call her. I haven't talked to her in a long time. The brother, the younger brother, is an avid hunter, along with Tyler's father, who is an avid hunter. And when I mean avid hunter, like they travel nationally and a little bit internationally to locations to hunt, right? To hunt big game. So they're it's a like a family thing. And she said that Tyler was not like he didn't go with them on their hunting trips. So this is an outlier for him, which I thought was interesting. Even though we have like shills like Jack Poso out there trying to convince everybody that Tyler is like this major gun enthusiast, all of those photos that Jack Poso was posting is actually pictures of Tyler's brother, which I thought was very interesting. Go ahead, beautiful, and then we'll go to Carl.
According to the alleged texts between him and Vance, too, it was an antique gun which was not believed to be traceable. So that would also be a reason for that gun.
Well, I mean,
All guns have a serial number, but the picture, that's
Right.
not an antique gun, the one that the FBI showed, or not the FBI, the
Well,
one that was leaked.
Yeah,
the
and
picture
in
that
that
was leaked
picture,
wasn't the actual gun, it was a stock photo.
correct, right? But what didn't the father put down that he texted Tyler for a picture of the gun because he had been getting information or he saw the picture
no,
on the
that's
news?
completely fabricated.
That's
That's
according to the
completely
FBI
that's
narrative.
no, that's completely fabricated. That is not one, that's not in the official documents. Two, it hasn't been presented in the trial.
Right.
Three, none of the key people have corroborated that. It is complete
Right.
bullshit.
Okay, good, because I remember reading that like
That
that.
may
Oh, the
change, but
dad.
for
In the
from the primary evidence that we have now, right? Here I can tell you this. The uncle thought he recognized Tyler on the image released by the FBI and by the governor during the press conference of that guy with the glasses and the hat. Right? He says, "Boy, it looks like Tyler." Took it to the family. The family discussed it. They called Tyler, right? And man, I can't say. I know word on the street is that Tyler, I can't say.
but in the
Hold
alleged
on, mute yourself,
sorry,
please. Mute
sorry.
yourself, please. um the family reached out to the preacher, right? They're all Mormons. The preacher reached out to a retired deputy who's also a Mormon and goes to the same temple as them. And so the preacher reached out to the sheriff, the county sheriff, and Utah County Sheriff. And then the county sheriff had the preacher, or not the preacher, had the retired sheriff meet with Tyler and his parents, and then he drove them all. They rode with him to turn Tyler in. Right? The gun was not a part of that. The gun was never a part of that. It was they asked Tyler where the gun was at. Right? I don't know. I don't want to speak to what the details are on that. But I know that they did ask him about the gun. But the major thing is they asked him, were you involved in this? And he, I don't, I know that he did not confess to his parents. I know that much. Despite what shills are telling you, he did not confess to his parents. So
Sounds like his answer would kind of made it feel like he was involved, though, is what it sounds like to me, right?
one could infer, and
Yeah.
and his, you know, I'll just say this. That's the feeling, right? That's the general feeling of people who are involved with him, is that, you know, he was somehow involved, but not the trigger man, which I think is incredibly fascinating, because who was then, you know, and how many more people were in on it. If you guys don't know, I mean, I interviewed George Zinn, right, in prison, and two or three times. And these are on my profile. If you go search Zinn, Zinn, you'll see my interviews with him. And he, you know, the first time, well, according to Candace, and I believe her, she spoke to hospital staff when Zinn, if you don't know who George Zinn is, he is the guy who distracted the police right after Charlie was shot. He said, I did it, shoot me. And waved his hands in the air. And he said, he later, so they arrested him, and come to find out it wasn't him. He was standing about, you know, 30 feet away from Charlie when it happened, in the front row. And he's an older man, like 70 years old. He's also a Mormon, which I think is really weird. Very well known in the Republican political scene up there in Utah. A kind of a gadfly, very kind of known for his antics. He, the first time I spoke to him, he would not discuss the case at all, right? And I mean, at all. I danced around it as an interviewee, you know, interviewing him. And when I like finally got back to it, I was like, man, I'm running out of time here. I need to ask him. So I just asked him, and he's like, I gotta go, and he hung up on me. Well, then I scheduled another one with him. I found out he was sentenced, right? And he ended up getting like, it was like 3 7-year sentences, or it was like a 7 to 15 year sentence. And he was charged with like possession of PED images, right? And for obstructing justice at Charlie Kirk's assassination, and I believe trespassing, I forget. And he so I scheduled another interview with him, right? And what was so odd about it, and this is so odd, right? I mean, it is extremely odd. You know, you have to give them all of your info to make a visit. You have to do a background check and all of this crap. You jump through a bunch of hoops. And I had one scheduled with him, and then I got a message that it was canceled. And the reason given was he was downstairs. I had no idea what that meant, right? And so I was kind of like, okay, I'm not going to be able to interview George Zinn. And the following day, I get a phone call from George Zinn on my phone, and he was on delete yourself watch, which is why he couldn't go to the first meeting, because I guess they have tablets up in the normal housing cells where they can do video visits and calls and all that. Well, he was on delete yourself watch in the foam suit or whatever, and couldn't do the video visit. So they let him, right? The jail let him use their cordless phone to call. Like, they called from, it was not like your normal jail call like you see on like clips and stuff, where it's like, you have a collect call from, and then so and so is in jail. Not like that at all. It was like a normal house call from him, and his demeanor was completely different. And I mean, completely. He was very hostile towards me. He was very dancing around, talking about his case. He was like gabby about it this time. Couldn't wait to tell me that nobody had put him up to it, and that it wasn't part of a bigger deal. And just, it was very odd, very odd. I have to ask, and I'm going to play the clip just because I'm like reliving it, talking about it. And what's up, Hit Slap? I don't know if you're busy. You probably are. Just want to say, shout you some love. My boy Hit Slap on stage. Blake. Oh, go ahead, Hit Slap.
No, I was going to say thank you, brother. I'm enjoying learning more. No one knows more about this than you, so thanks for having me, brother. Appreciate it.
I don't know about that, but I do know a lot. Thank you so much. Blake, what did you learn from the Candace Owens release of the video and the footage?
Diligent, what's up, man?
What's up, brother?
Man, honestly, I do not like the scrubbing back and forth. I can watch it myself, so I'm hoping that the producers were just a little bit antsy on the mouse or trackpad as they're playing it, because quite frankly, the most important part was just cruised right over each time, and it would be that impact point. I don't need Candace to explain it to me. I just need her to play the video. And so I've texted her tonight, waiting on a return text, and hoping that she can, at the very minimum, just post the video so that we can see the thing play out at normal speed without the scrubbing back and forth. But at the very minimum, I'm thankful that she has released it. It's pivotal. I think it's going to show some very interesting telltale marks on exactly where the origination began, and we'll be able to focus in on those. Like, I'm interested in each side of his neck, right? I want to see, if we're just looking through the lens, I want to see the right side where the necklace is zooming right over his head or buzzing right by his ear, and I want to see the left side if and see if there's splatter or anything that's going to be telltale of a of a bullet projectile, striking him. So with that, I've always said the new angle that everyone needs to attack is that, with all the talk we've heard out of Turning Point, all of the posts out of Jack Poso, just think back to how many times Jack has reminded us that he saw a leftist shoot Charlie Kirk. This, at the minimum, should just go to basically putting the nail in the coffin, so to speak, on the accused. There's a reason, in my opinion, that they do not want this out. I think it's going to show a whole other set of circumstances, facts, things that are happening that are going to be, quite frankly, inexcusable. And so I'm hoping. I know Candace read it, so hopefully she will send that back to me, or at least post it on her page for all of us open source gurus to go in, because I know there's some people that are really looking forward to that without the video being scrubbed over real quick. So that's my 2 cents on that. I wanted to ask real quick, because I jumped back in on the rifle. Did I understand the space where it says that the rumor with with Tyler's rifle, that his dad did not see the rifle at all? Is that what I understand, Dill?
What was the question?
Did Tyler Robinson's father see the rifle that was put out in any capacity, and did he use that in any capacity to identify his son?
Not that I'm aware
Using,
of.
not that you're aware of.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so on page
It
7
was
of
it
the
was
indictment,
the images from the person in the stairwell. They didn't positively ID Tyler, but it looked enough like him to where they asked about it.
but no rifle,
It had nothing to do with the gun.
because on page 7 of the indictment, it states that Robinson's father reported his wife showed him the surveillance image of the suspected shooter in the news. He agreed that it looked like their son. He also believed that the rifle that the police suspected the shooter used matched a rifle that was given to his son as a gift. As a result, Robinson's father contacted his son and asked him to send a photo of the rifle. Robinson did not respond. However, Robinson's father spoke on the phone with Robinson, and Robinson implied that he planned to take his own life, and Robinson's parents were able to convince him to meet
So
them at their home.
the keywords there are believed and implied. He believed. He never ID'd the gun. He said the description.
So
He
you
said
think
the
that he just freestyle thought that because he didn't see the image of a
I mean,
gun.
that's a prosecuting document. That's nothing more than words from the prosecutor in the charging documents, not corroborated evidence, right?
So yeah, so the state has freestyled.
Even in the document, I mean, he says, Rob, can you read that part again about Robinson father believed? Like, what it should say, during interviews, Robinson's father stated that he recognized the gun or something along those lines. It doesn't say that. It just, are they telepathic? How do they know what he believed? Like, how did he recognize the gun? What made him think about a gun? The gun was never released by the feds. There was an image of a gun in a box that was posted by news outlets. We have no idea where those pictures came from. They were never confirmed by the feds or the cops ever.
Okay, so but this is a huge problem, Dill. Like you understand this, right? Like that the cops, if what you're saying is true, and the fact that they never released any photograph of a rifle, then how in the world would Tyler's father have any sort of inclination of what a rifle looked like just off of the sheer fact
Well,
that
I mean,
a rifle was mentioned?
he would have known that his son had a rifle, right? He knows that the kids have rifles. I think I would have to. I mean, it's been so long now. I would have
There's something
to.
fishy there. I would like for you to
Can
like
you
just
read that? Can you read that line again about how the father and the rifle?
sure. Robinson's father reported that when his wife showed him the surveillance image of the suspected shooter in the news, he agreed that it looked like their son. He also believed that the rifle that police suspected the shooter used matched a rifle that was giving to his son as a gift. As a result, Robinson's father contacted his son and asked him to send a photo of the rifle. Robinson did not respond. However, Robinson's father spoke on the phone with Robinson. Robinson implied that he planned to take his own life. Robinson's parents were able to convince him to meet at their home.
There's nothing that indicates that he recognized the gun. He
But
said
they're
believe.
using it as like do you understand how many people have used this to say that like I can think of right now going on Gary at Paramount Tactical Show, and he put this all in my face that Robinson's dad spotted the gun, blah blah blah. It's in the, I mean, because his whole defense or his whole argument's based upon it's in the indictment. I mean, this is what was used. This is what's used to, you know, get all of this pushing towards a trial. I mean, like, and it just doesn't make sense.
I'm sure it's the picture in the box that was released by the press, and nobody said it wasn't, so everybody assumed it was.
What do you mean? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, when was it a New York? It was a New York outfit that posted the picture of the gun, said they found this in the woods, like it looked like evidence picture. And it's a picture of look like a bolt action 30-06, but it's a newer, has synthetic stock and a stainless steel barrel, and was tapered. So that means it wasn't an old one. That means it's less than 20 years old. And so they posted that all over the news. And so then he was found. And so I'm
says. And then the other question you had was about the clipping. I'm sure she'll. What I noticed is that she's really good about her audience when it to like the videos and stuff. And I noticed that she will often put it out on Instagram. She like released it as like a either a post or uh as like a live, if I remember correctly, last time. So all right, I think we're
By
good.
the way, the image was that's more like a Mauser M18 compared to 98. He's right. Blake's right. The 98 is kind of a wood stock and a blued barrel. The image that they showed was a synthetic stock with a tapered stainless steel barrel, which is the M18, not a 98. It's a newer model, within 20 years old. Yeah.
You know, I think I will try to get another. I'll try to get a formal interview. I can't promise anything. The grandma is worried that the family is going to be mad at her if she talks to somebody. She did say that she would talk to me if she was going to talk to anybody.
Bro, you got to let grandma know that we're trying to save her fucking grandkid's
She knows.
life.
She knows. She knows. Like she knows. She's just. It's not her. It's her son. The son told her because she was the first one and one of the only ones in the family to talk to the press. I guess showed up at her house like I did. And they ran with it and spun it. And that's what he's worried about. He's worried that a journalist is going to take what she says and either spin it or put it out of context and make Tyler look guilty, like what's been done this entire time. And just through consistency and talking to me, and then I've shared she has my X. I put X on her phone for her when I was there, and then walked her through how to watch my posts. And so if I have anything relevant to the case or news or whatever updates, I send that to her directly. I send her the post, and then she gives me feedback. I can tell you this much: she does not believe the official narrative at all. There's too many holes. None of it makes sense, and she's also worried about Tyler getting a fair trial since he's using a state attorney, and the reason why they have his family has not hired an attorney, and I can confirm this, is because they can't afford to. They did reach out to an attorney, and the retainer was $100,000, and so no one in the family has that kind of money. The dad does have a steady business, but he doesn't have that kind of money, and that was just a retainer. That's not for the whole thing because it's a capital, high profile capital crime. So they could. Sorry, Waffles. I'm not at home. There's no Zorro Ranch sign here. Um, it's here in spirit. There is no. I mean, I also think he's not going to get a fair trial. The government controls all aspects of this case. Even the media that is there is messing up, right? Like the media has strict rules inside the courtroom numerous times now. A Mormon affiliated, by the way, the same one that keeps breaking the rules over and over and over, given by the judge, threatening we the people's access to this case, is a Mormon local channel, a news station, right? And they keep making mistakes that threaten we the people's access to have live video in this trial, right? And then on top of that, you have numerous examples of the judge redacting or having redacted hearings, right? Or there is redacted motions all throughout this case. And what's really interesting is the last one, the judge dismissed the defense's motion to have the prosecutor thrown out because the prosecutor's daughter was a witness. She was there and she texted her dad as it happened. And they were saying that this created prejudice with the lead prosecutor that pushed him to move for the death penalty in a really fast way, right? Like non-standard, right? The amount of time that it took them to announce they were going after the death penalty was like within the first few weeks. And what the defense was saying is that because his daughter was there and it affected her and she was traumatized by it, and she had messaged him and he kind of felt some angst from that it biased his decision and created a conflict of interest. So when that happened, the reason why I'm bringing this up, that was like the last kind of bigger publicized hearing they had of Tyler Robinson. Now, he appeared virtually in the jail. Of course, we couldn't see him because they don't want you to see him while he's in jail. They redacted the middle part of that hearing, right? They're like, oh, we're going to take a quick break. And what they did is they had a conversation and they turned the Zoom call off for about, it was either 13 or 30 minutes. I'd have to go check. I posted this because I watched the whole thing when it happened. And I was like, why do they keep doing this? Why do they keep hiding things in this case? It doesn't make any sense. Go ahead, Blake.
Yeah, so two things. The rifle specifically mentioned in the text messages, the elusive or the funny text messages that make no sense at all. Tyler specifically mentions the fact that there's no serial number on this older rifle, which would exclude the synthetic gun, or the synthetic stock, which absolutely has a serial number. I believe someone, JJ, might check me on this, 70s when weapons started coming stock with serial numbers. But this one is on purpose mentioned, or Tyler or whoever that is that typed out that text message thread purposefully insinuates that there's no serial number on this rifle, which would, of course, indicate this is a World War relic styled gun, Mauser 98. And then number two is, man, we are looking at a playbook of what should be happening with the Corey Richins trial that's taking place right now in Utah. I believe it's Park City. Kathy Nestor is also the defense counsel on that case. And I know there's a jury that's seated and they're actually going through the trial as we speak. So it's a different set of circumstances where you would have a lot of objections to things that are being seen prior to a jury being set, which is in Tyler's case. But everything's running so smoothly, or at least what I've picked up on. I haven't seen any of the things that we've witnessed with the camera crew on Tyler's case. Corey's is running smooth as can be. But of course, like I said, that's a different set of circumstances because Corey has a jury that's seated. Tyler, of course, is working through all the pretrial stuff. And of course, it would be wonderful to assume that we're going to have a trial and that this would be a lot more laxed once a jury is seated with Tyler. But I still hold my position that that's about a snowflake's chance in hell that Tyler goes to or that Tyler's case seats a jury. So just wanted to throw that.
So the Mauser 98 was made in like 1938, I think, when it started, and they were putting serial numbers in guns in the 1800s, so it would have a serial number.
Perfect.
Harmony.
Hey everyone, if you could please go down to the bottom right hand corner, there's a purple pill. Please repost the space. There's about 400 people here and only 60 reposts. We thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Harmony. Go ahead, beautiful.
Sorry, I was just somebody already said what I was going to say. I was going to say it was in the text message, the cringy text messages between Lance and Tyler, if we are to believe that those were actually between Lance and Tyler, that the father had asked about the gun and asked for a picture of the gun, and Tyler had said to Lance he couldn't send his dad the picture and he was screwed or something along those lines because the gun was at the drop point, and if he could get back to it he would be fine. And then at some point he gave up and went home, and it was in the text messages that he did say the gun was untraceable because it was an antique. But that's if we are to believe the text messages. That's all.
Well, those are reconstructed text messages according
Right.
to.
That's why I said that's if we are to believe them. I don't necessarily believe that they're accurate and real.
Independent, do you have anything to add?
No, not at the moment. I'm kind of just listening in. So I'm absorbing information for now.
What's your position on the Charlie Kirk assassination? What do you think? Who done it?
Whoa, who done it? Well, I can tell you who I don't think did it. I don't think the Tyler Robinson kid is solely responsible. I do think it was an operation, and it was a multi-stage operation. I keep questioning. Basically, did the shot come from a roof, a roof area, but not the one that he was on, or allegedly on. I don't see, what I'm saying, the evidence there for me anyway. Now, if he gets convicted in a court of law, but in the same aspect, that doesn't necessarily mean that he, did it. It just means he's been found guilty in a court of law. I think that the kid was set up, and that's just my strong opinion on it. And I think it has a lot of deeper, um, might as well say, ties to why Kurt is not here anymore, especially if you see the aftermath of what has happened and his death with his former wife and the actions of his former organization. I do believe that it's a bigger plot.
Little too convenient for the rest of the world. Little too convenient. Um, I do want to ask Rock something. Let me get up here. Grok, can you read us every part that pertains to the murder weapon and Tyler Robinson in the charging documents from the Tyler Robinson versus the state of Utah case? And I want everything you say to be verbatim. They got rid of the like the waiting noise or something. I don't know what's up with it. Let me try it again. Grok, read us every part in the charging documents versus Tyler Robinson from the state of Utah that relates to the murder weapon. What type of murder weapon? How Tyler's dad associated him with the murder weapon, et cetera. And I want it all verbatim. I don't know why it's not talking. No sound. All right, I'll try to fix it. Hold on.
Mercury in
Spaces
retrograde.
space, bro. I'm telling you, it's. I'm telling you, it's been. Spaces has been trash for me.
Feels like they just
It's,
update the app so many times that it's hard to keep up with like what's going on with it.
well, I've been having like the worst luck today. Just
Hey, that's what I know.
all right. Let's see. Should be good now. We'll see. I tried to bring Grok up. Grok, do the verb. Oh, here, I'll just copy it. There we go. Shit. I still can't hear her. Can you?
No, I'm not hearing anything but you.
No.
No.
Son bitch.
Hi, Mandy.
Hi, Mandy.
She might be busy. I do hear a little blip, but that's about it.
It should be. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, we lost Grok. Anyways, I'll just read. I'll just read it. Actually, let's just do that. I'll just read it. So you can follow along on the screen if you want to. Just pulling it up. Here's a verbatim pull from the key public documents for Tyler James Robinson, Utah County criminal information filed on September 16th, 2025, available at attorney, utahcounty.gov. Excerpting only the sections that directly relate to the murder weapon, its type, description, recovery, how Tyler's dad associated it, and related evidence / associated. No paraphrasing, straight quotes. Okay, here's from their probable cause. Quote, police found the suspected murder weapon. So first off, okay, they do, the space is glitching, it looks like too. That's great. First off, it looks like the probable, it is suspected murder weapon. So they have not confirmed it to be the murder weapon, which I think is incredibly interesting, given that the bullet was in the body still, according to the doctors, Erika Kirk, Andrew Colvett, and what we've observed on the video. Okay, so it's crazy. Quote, police found the suspected murder weapon, a bolt-action 30-06 rifle nearby. It's interesting that they didn't go into details or specifics about the make and model of the gun, right? I think that's interesting. Why didn't they do that? Quote, DNA consistent with Tyler Robinson is found on the rifle's trigger. Now we know that they found 5 people's DNA profiles on the rifle trigger. 5, right? Which makes it incredibly difficult to prove it was him. It's really watered down at that point. And on the trigger and other parts of the rifle, the fired cartridge casing and 2 of the 3 unfired cartridges and the towel. Quote, after shooting Mr. Kirk, Robinson hid the gun, count 3, concealed and removed the firearm used to shoot Charlie Kirk. They're talking about when the person took it with them as they jumped off the roof. Quote, investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top. Quote, inscriptions on a fired casing read, notices bulge, OWO, what's this? And how do you fit that on a on a casing. Okay, that's a whole sentence almost, right? Notices bulge, OWO. What's this question mark? Like, I just want you to think about this round is this long, right? So it had to have been incredibly small writing. I mean, I don't know why this is glitching so bad. Here we go. Hopefully YouTube can still hear me. Um, they here's the part. Here's the part we want. So on the Father's Rifle Association, from the information narrative probable cause summary, quote, Robinson's father reported his wife showed him the surveillance image of the suspected shooter in the news. He agreed that it looked like their son. He also believed that the rifle, now this is where it gets kind of hairy here. He also believed that the rifle that the police suspected the shooter used matched a rifle that was given to his son as a gift. Now, this is all subjective language. Believed, right? Police suspected was the gun. So the father, he subjectively believes that the gun that the police suspect shot Charlie Kirk belonged to his father, which was given to a gift to Tyler Robinson, which I think is, it's like, can you keep up with that? If you can keep up with that, let me know, because I can't do it. Let's see. So that's the closest direct link that they have to the weapon and Tyler's dad. Now, is that a statement, given by Tyler's dad to the police that he believed it? Where did he find out about the gun? It doesn't make any freaking sense. It makes zero freaking sense. I don't understand it. There's that's all there is in there. So it's very, what's on the charging document as far as like the rifle goes is very, very slim. And there's no ballistics, right? They say suspected murder weapon. They should be able to conclusively prove from the, I mean, JJ, how from rifling, how close can you match a bullet to a gun through ballistics?
Exact. It's like a fingerprint. Even if it's fragmented in pieces, they could put the pieces together and still show the lands and grooves to match the barrel.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know why that it's just, I think it's because they don't know what to do with it. I think that the gun is a big problem for them. It is a huge problem for them to try to prove that's what killed him. The 30-06, man. I think that's why I don't know how they're going to get past that. I think they're probably counting on. I think Candace is right in this, that he was not supposed to survive. I don't think he was supposed to survive. It seems likely that they weren't counting on him surviving. It was supposed to be some very dramatic, like, shootout or something, right? Or maybe a self deletion, and he wasn't supposed to go to trial. But with him going to trial and him being turned in, by the way, the video of him being turned in just happened to disappear along with the hospital videos. Yeah, I don't know. It's very, very interesting that this guy is go ahead, beautiful.
I think that they're counting on him taking a plea deal like Koberger did in Idaho. Um, I think that there's just enough evidence to put him at the scene, and we don't know, or near the scene. We don't know what else they have. But I really think that they're counting on him taking a plea and it going away from the media.
I think you're right. I think it's if people are like, oh, he's not going to make it to trial because of this, because of that. If he doesn't make it to trial, it is because he it's because he's going to take a deal. I think it's not because he's on suicide watch, so it's not going to be because he deleted himself. It's going to be because he, you know, go ahead, Blake.
It's going to be one hell of a day when he does take that plea, and then the video comes out, say a couple days later, to show that the person on the roof did not take the shot, didn't have the gun, didn't get up to the ledge, and basically shows that the prosecution wiggled this 21-year-old or 22-year-old kid into taking a plea deal for something that he absolutely did not do. That's going to be their biggest hurdle, is the prosecution does not know what we have in terms of video, and these people have learned that you've got to kind of hold on to stuff until, if you're a small account, until it's really the good time, because otherwise it just gets buried by things, or you get doxxed and your family gets threatened to be gang raped or whatever. Like, so that's going to be the thing to watch, is there will be either that moment or a Perry Mason moment when all of this comes down. So if the prosecutors are listening to your space tonight, they need to know that they're out over their skis, period. And if they think that they're
What
going
would
to wiggle a kid
what
into a plea deal, like, this is criminal what they're doing. They
why
are
do you
pushing forward with a case that we absolutely can show that Tyler or whoever it is on the roof did not do what they're saying.
why do you think that why do you think he's why do you think that he's going along with it?
Right now, I don't think he's got a choice. I don't know if he was sold a bad bill of goods. He is involved in some way. I mean, there's and I don't necessarily understand. There are kids that I have identified that are involved in this thing as well, and they are absolutely communicating with people there that day. One of them's Jason Behunin, the big dude with the red hat. That dude is running some kids. I'm telling you, I've got him talking to him. And what's going to screw Jason is he's already done an interview that he just stumbled on the Charlie Kirk thing, and he really wasn't a fan, but and I mean, what interview I'm talking about, right? The one that he's one of 4 guests for the NBC there in Utah, and he goes, and it's about a 22-minute segment where they're answering all sorts of questions. I mean, if you listen to this guy, he has absolutely he just stumbled on the event. He really didn't follow Charlie, blah blah blah. But look, this guy is directing kids. Like, there are kids picking stuff up. This guy even talks to Hunter Kozak. He points to Hunter where to go. Like, this makes no sense. This makes absolutely no freaking sense. So I don't know if Jason Behunin or knows Tyler, but I'm telling you, Jason knows more than he's leading on. I think that's probably why he deleted all of his social media and took his videos off of YouTube. But I mean, we already got them, so it doesn't really matter. But something's there. But to answer your question, Dill, I don't know, man. I genuinely believe that Tyler got suckered into something that he did not think through completely. And the level or the depth of this nefariousness, I think, is going to astonish everyone. If it plays out the way I'd like for it to play out, I think it's going to astonish everyone. And whoever is uh, deciding to trudge forward, if it's Jeff Gray and he thinks that somehow he's going to wiggle out of this, I'm saying right now, no. Like, by the end of this, with all of these constant calculations, if they run true and hold true, Jeff Gray should be arrested, because Jeff Gray pushed forward on it with a death penalty case, knowing damn good and well that he had nothing there. There was no there. And then it's going to be one of those things where what's going to cause the first, where the house of cards falls? Like, what's going to be the thing that falls first? That's literally the way I vision this thing happening. Something of that nature. It just takes one involved party or one big player, one big person to start squealing. And I think you're going to see the house of cards fall. But these prosecutors need to know that they are fucked, because the videos exist and are out and they don't have control of them. And there's going to be absolutely zero explanation if they think that this is going to go to a plea and that Tyler's going to sign a plea. And then they're going to get to tell everyone, hey, Diligent, hey, Blake, hey, Candace, don't worry about it anymore. Because guess what? Tyler said he did it. Tyler pled. He pled guilty, y'all. Move on. What are you looking here for now? He pled guilty. He said he did it. What are y'all doing asking questions, filing all these grammar requests, FOIA requests? What are y'all doing? He said he did it. That's what's going to happen. And I'm telling you right now that they are overextended. They're fucked, because the videos exist and there's going to be no explanation from a prosecutor's standpoint, from their point of view. They're not going to be able to answer the question, why did you push forward with a death penalty case, allow a 22-year-old kid to then take a lesser and plea, with knowing that he never did it to
So
begin with? You're never
you
going to be able to
think?
answer that question.
I think this is what, if I had to like guess what the theatrics are going to look like here. You know, Erika Kirk is a part of this trial, as representative of the victim. She has her own attorney there, who coincidentally represented Alexander Acosta, who is the one who gave Epstein his sweetheart plea deal. But that's neither here nor there. Just shows that there's some overlap in the Epstein network, which is so strange. I mean, and I haven't. I've been traveling and I've been a little preoccupied. I took a couple of days off this week, and then, but I haven't gotten caught up on my Kirk research. I kind of let it take a back burner to Epstein, and Candace has done a really good job of, covering Erika Kirk, connecting a lot of dots, pointing out a lot of anomalies with her history. Her whole backstory is incredibly wrinkled. Um, but besides that, there is an overlap in these networks, right? Between what's going on with TPUSA and Epstein's network, right? I'm not saying Epstein is related to TPUSA in any ways, but there are some, like, again, Erika Kirk's attorney in the Charlie Kirk murder trial against Tyler Robinson represented Alex Acosta. Alex Acosta is the U.S. attorney for Florida, the Southern District of Florida, that gave, oh, not Southern District, sorry, that's SDNY, the district in Florida, okay, that gave Epstein his sweetheart plea deal, that gave co-conspirators immunity, unnamed co-conspirators, and gave Jeffrey Epstein like a slap on the wrist for trafficking minors, right? Where he was allowed to, he had his own wing in the jail on weekends, and during the week he was allowed to go where he wanted to, including to his island. So, how is it that Erika Kirk is representing somebody who represented, who gave Epstein such a like evil and demonic. It's like it can only make sense, right? Like it's well, how what else could you expect in this saga than for an Epstein affiliated attorney to be representing Erika Kirk at Charlie Kirk's murder trial, right? Like how how could it get any better, right? Like it's crazy to me. Go ahead, Blake. Of course, you don't have to raise your hand.
Yeah. So did you see my comment today on your poll?
I did. Let me pull that up. So I did have a poll today. It actually got a lot of traction. It is up on the Jumbotron. And I will be in for the Jumbotron. But if you're on YouTube or on the live, I'll pull it up. It's right here. I said this MAGA, what do you care about more? Question mark. 44% said Epstein arrests. 16% said Kirk truth. 18% said Iran war ending, and 21% said Save Act. That is out of 3,800 votes.
And
What did
so
you say? I didn't
this
see your
is,
comment.
yeah. Um, and this is just my angle, okay? Is I look at, because I believe that there is a tremendous overlap on everything, okay? And I look at what's going to be the easiest, most what's the easiest one to take down or to exploit because they're overextended. And to me, the obvious is the Charlie Kirk assassination, because you've got real regular people that are involved, and I believe that those real regular people would flip on a dime for their freedom. And until you've had something like this where you've got a prison sentence dangled over you, you don't necessarily understand how you're going to react. And I know that Philip Goldsberry and Terrell, I mean, Terrell might be different, but Philip for sure, and some of these other just easily identifiable players that were there that day, I mean, they would sing in a heartbeat when you're talking conspiracy to commit murder that was an assassination. I mean, and so to me, with that angle of approach, the Charlie Kirk assassination would be the thing that I go in all in to focus on and bust up, because at that point, who in the world knows where things lead? Okay. I mean, like you're talking Iran, Epstein, of course, Israel. I mean, there's all sorts of possible players that would be involved in this, because it's not just something that Turning Point dreamed up one day to do this. I mean, there was somebody leaning in to someone, and it's just old school investigations, right? What does a detective do in? They do this every day around every city in America. If they're trying to get a big fish, they start with the small fish. Small fish lead to medium fish, that lead to a little bit bigger fish, that at some point, after you've got enough people rolled, you've got a pretty damn good picture of where to start, or not where to start, but of who's behind it. But you can't start there. That's impossible nearly. I mean, imagine if you just go looking for El Chapo. I mean, that's hard. You got to you got to get some low level runners. You got to get some, or distributors, and then you got to jump the border and work that in. You got to start. It's the same thing, same concept here. And these people are just normal, everyday people. And look, I mean, Philip, if you were like Blake, who would you pick on first? It would be Philip Goldsberry, because Philip is the one who put the mic on him. Whether it's the mic or the necklace, it doesn't really matter in my opinion. It's something that was under his shirt, and there's no excuse for, at the moment that the boom goes off, that Philip looks one way, away, like towards Mikey, right there on his knees, and then Philip turns his head 180
Wait,
degrees.
are you still on the mic theory? Is that you? Was that you?
I'm on
You
the
on
under
the
the shirt theory. Absolutely.
So did you not see the magnet still stuck to his shirt in that video from behind that Candace shared?
Let's put it to you this way. There is something with the necklace, Dill. The necklace is the first thing that goes batshit crazy. batshit crazy. The
Let me pull
necklace
it up
goes
again.
tight and then it snaps. So, and look, I know we've never really got into this, and like I have Brian Harp. I can tell you how many fingers he squeezes on his trigger underneath his arm. I can tell you that 3 of his knuckles flex. I've got that good of video. 3 of his knuckles flex on what's underneath his shirt that he squeezes, not including the
Oh,
audio
so I know what you're
issues.
talking about. That thing that he switches off on the back or whatever.
Well, he just goes folded arms at the moment Hunter starts to talk, Hunter Kozak.
I can confirm you'll see later.
And at the moment
fast and it looks white
that
and it
Hunter
fast,
looks
that
over
is
to
in
him,
fact
because Hunter
his,
signals to him, Hunter touches his
necklace.
glasses
That is his
to say, hey,
necklace.
I'm about to
And
ask the
I
magic
find that for
boom
some reason to be
question
very
about the
strange that
trans
necklace goes up
guns.
first.
Hunter looks over to Brian. They lock eyes, and then Brian looks off. And he's got his hand ready to go underneath his arm. That's what squeezes.
So do you have
And
do you have the video I have up on this on your screen on your computer?
not on, I'm on my iPhone, but I can
Oh.
go get my computer.
Well, you don't have to do that. You can go to it. I think you can go to it on my page and stay in the space. But I have a live going on my space. I have the.
Oh, I'm tracking you. Hang on.
You see it? Repost the space, everybody. Bottom right corner. We're going to go for another 30 minutes or an hour, depending on how things are moving along. And then I have a subscriber space up in the Jumbotron. If you want to support what I'm doing, turn all notifications on for my profile. I will be putting out some Epstein and Kirk content this weekend. And I do subscriber space to give content to my subscribers. So
Okay,
the
I
link
got
is
it
in the
pulled up now.
Jumbotron for the after space. And turn notifications on I'm in a Airbnb, you guys. So they're talking about what's behind me. I think that's a fake plant. There is a link in the Jumbotron, and also turn that bell icon and like over there on YouTube. Blake, go ahead. So this is the shot. The first thing that we see move is the necklace. Do you agree that's the necklace? Hey there, Blake. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah,
I
he's
can hear
probably
you.
on the
Oh, yeah.
YouTube.
I said, I'm gonna have to go. Hang on just a second. I've got to get my other iPhone because your video is not playing on your X. It's playing on
I
YouTube.
have it
But then,
frozen.
oh,
I'm trying to show you. I have it paused so you can see.
okay. All right, I'm tracking you.
The video spaces are so much nicer where you don't have to leave the space to see the video.
Okay,
When they get that dialed in, we'll be
correct.
doing those too.
Yep,
All right.
I've got you
Do we
circling. You're
agree?
circling it.
Do we agree that this is the necklace?
Correct.
Okay. The necklace is the first thing to move before anything else. The shirt's not even inflated, right?
At this particular juncture,
Right.
bro, we're way past it. I mean, this is one of my main beefs with Candace's video. She scrubbed right over this. Like,
Oh, it jumps.
yeah,
Right
like I
there,
mean, if you
right?
think that's the first frame, like no, dude, like Candace, like that's where her producer just landed.
Do you think that's her scrub, or do you think that
Yes.
is
Yeah, I
you don't
saw her
think
mouse doing it.
Oh, you don't think it's the
No, because you can hear her
sterile
directing her
scrub?
producer, Skylar or somebody. She's like, "All right, hold it right there." Like they're
Oh,
scrubbing
because
back and forth.
are they trying to get the blood out of it from his neck?
There's no blood though.
Well, there is on the front. We all saw it.
Well,
It
yeah,
shoots
but
out.
not here. I mean,
Blood shoots out right here. So, are they trying to how is the necklace above his ears? Well, I'm reading the chat. The necklace expands, so it shoots up.
see how
Everything just moves.
this plays into. I don't know why. Why not just play it? Why
Well,
not just play it?
also, so James Berkshire says she doesn't have the frames per second because it's a FaceTime. So it's a screen recording of a
No,
FaceTime.
James Berkshire is not going to pull one like that on my ass. Like James Berkshire needs to know that she scrubbed right over the most important part. I'm not going to play that game.
Well, let's
Like she did.
she didn't do it. Her
Her
producer
producer
did.
did.
Right. I think we
So
could we could
the
give
other
it.
videos I saw, I think that's a bullet going in, and it broke the necklace, caused the necklace to snap, and then exited out the other side. That's what I
But
saw looking at the other videos, the other
Just
angle.
real quick, so I can ask a question. You're saying the bullet struck him in the mid neck off to the left side up top, and somehow magically made the necklace just snap first.
No,
That
his
makes no
back right.
sense.
No, it came from the right, his right, back right, and exited the front left.
So,
oh, Blake,
uh,
look. So they did scrub it, and then they show it. So the first part is the scrub. I think this is it right here. Right, that's the scrub where it jumps. But then you go back and they like redo it. Hold on, let me go right here. So it looks like they. Oh no, maybe that's after it too. Damn, maybe I'm wrong. Nope, I am wrong. You're right. That's
But
unfortunate.
even when he was leaving to go to the vehicle, there was no blood. Like when they were transferring him, no.
are you sure?
I mean, there
Um,
wasn't. You
from
could
the video,
see.
like if it was the bullet that they said it was, there would be blood dripping the whole entire time, and
Oh,
You
then
his
could
his head would
see.
be his head would be off to the side if it was the bullet they said it was.
You
yeah,
could
exactly.
see.
But like there, you can see if there was like a big pool, like explode, like when we first seen from the front, the big explosion of blood that or so-called blood, then that blood trail when they're dragging him or lifting him into the black SUV, you would definitely see some blood dropping on the ground, but you don't see any kind of blood at that point.
He wouldn't have an entire back of his neck if he was shot with a 30-06.
Yeah, but even shot with anything, like it honestly points to even to like to the hospital. I know they have video footage leaving after in a casket and stuff, but you think that somebody would have footage of them showing up with all those SUVs to the front of the hospital with like a true emergency? That's always got me to question. And then the no blood in between the tent to the vehicle that they loaded them into as well.
So the wound was on the front of
Been
his neck,
asked.
right?
Thing I can
Well, it was on the
confirm.
front,
I
like
can
where his
confirm. You'll see
jugular
later
is. So
that it's
the
whipping
side of
fast and
his
it looks
neck,
white when it
like
whips
the
fast.
front
The
quarter.
bullet is
And
in fact fast.
and it was just kind of that river or whatever that little
Tyler, we do that.
that
We're
flow
Stream of
of
blood.
blood.
Yes,
If
yes.
he's being carried on his back, right? Like he's carried on his back, blood would be spilling out onto his belly in the shirt. Correct. You would see a bunch of you would see a super saturated white freedom shirt. Correct.
The magnet
Until
clasp.
the
If you're being
heart
carried, if you're
stops.
being carried on your back, if you're being carried on your back belly up, and
It's
you
still
were
on him.
struck
I know
on the
these things are very
front of your neck
powerful,
and you're wearing a
and
shirt,
I think John Bray explained to you that the magnet
the
clasp,
blood
when you're
would be
seeing it on
going
him,
down
it
your
was behind
neck
it and
and
falling off.
collecting on the
He has
shirt,
a
right?
theory,
No,
and I think I would say
that's
it's a
while the heart's
well-adopted
pumping.
theory
As soon as the
that,
heart starts pumping,
a well-adapted theory
there's
that
seepage. There's not going to be
the
pumping.
Rode microphone is
It's
what
only
was
while the
shattered
heart
in
is
the backseat
pumping.
of
You
the
have to have
car,
blood
and so
pressure for there to
I wanted
be,
to show that as well, so you
blood
guys
coming
can
out
see
actively.
that. We can keep scrubbing through here.
Okay,
I,
I don't.
Only as you
It's
can see,
the bleed is on the
so
front.
that
He's
we
being
can keep.
carried.
how do you?
Yeah,
He's
How do
not.
the
you?
It's not like he's being
the
carried face
seeping is
down.
still it's still gonna come. It's not gonna pump out the artery, but it's still gonna drain down the front of the shirt if you're laying on your back and you got shot in the front. The blood would still be coming out the front side of
And
your butt.
remember, we're talking 18 seconds.
100%.
Was it 18 seconds
That
from the
was the
shot till he
first
left?
thing that
No,
kind of
18
got my
seconds on
eye was
concrete.
that.
No. How long was it after the shot that he was taken away? How many seconds?
47.
That's about how long it takes to bleed out with a shot like that.
But again,
The heart would
you would
stop.
see, but you would still see the blood dripping off the shirt at that point. It's not like 35 seconds in when he stops bleeding out, the
Well, if he
blood just
hit the
stops on the
ground,
shirt.
the blood's going to be in the grass. It's not going to be on his shirt because
You
he
think that
immediately
wound
hit the
was enough to
ground.
create a fatal bleed out?
Oh God, yes, 100%. Yeah,
100%.
100%. Yeah, there's no doubt. I saw the expansion through his neck. So the shot that a sniper would take is called the lights out shot. It goes to the pons, which is where the brainstem connects with the spinal column, and that's the instant lights out shot. But you can see the expansion of the shock wave. It definitely traveled through his neck because you can see in slow motion the neck swell up like a donut, and so that was a
And
shock wave.
and
That was
and,
the exit
and
wound.
what
Yeah.
is the diameter that the human neck can swell to?
It's 10 to 30 times larger than normal. We're talking about
There's no
it's a,
diligent. Your head's
it,
blown off at that point, bro.
no, it's not. It's not. There is documented proof from studies that the what's the name for it? Oh God, there's a scientific name for it. I'm drawing a
Uh,
blank.
magic.
No, it's not magic. When the neck expands or when flesh expands because of the liquid, the shock wave makes the liquid part of our, because we're really soft, expand for a moment way larger than what it leaves stretch marks. That's
Well,
how,
I'm chilling in
because of
your
the
crib
energy.
tonight, diligent. So I'm gonna be super respectful. I'm just gonna respectfully disagree.
Well, here we got Grok. Let's just use
Yeah, the
Grok. Let's
shock
see.
wave is like 6 inches is what it about 6 inches is the wound cavity is what it's called. So as the bullet goes through it,
Cavitation. Thank you.
yeah, yeah,
Cavitation. That's
it's
what it
about
is.
6 inches, about 6 inches
It
in
is
diameter.
okay. So the studies that I read, and me and you argued about this on the timeline. The studies that I read, and these are studies, right? These are I cited the sources. These were from numerous institutions where it says cavitation can occur 10 to 30 times the diameter of a neck. 10 to 30. Okay. I just want you to think about
Wait,
that.
10 to
If
30
you're
times the diameter of the bullet.
of is it
The
the
bullet.
bullet? Maybe
The
it's the
bullet.
bullet
It is
one.
the bullet. 100% is the bullet.
I'm about
Yeah,
to
the
say,
neck
man, you've
would
been hanging out
explode.
with the Michelin
Yeah.
Man or the Marshmallow Man way too
No,
much, Dill.
bro. No,
Yeah.
No,
bro.
That's
Chris
why it's about
Martinson
six
ran the
inches.
tests.
Yeah.
You can go look at Chris Martinson's channel, Peak Prosperity. He's got lots of examples of something that's very similar to a fleshly material where you shoot it, it causes a
It's
similar
ballistics
cavitation
gel.
event,
Yeah,
and
we
it
make it.
yeah, ballistic gel, and it
Yeah.
directly will explode a necklace. It's and there's lots of other YouTubers doing the same thing. You can see lots of examples right now.
I'm looking it up on Grok since she won't work for some reason.
Yes, when a bullet goes through, it goes in small, and then the cavitation expands to about 6 inches, and then shrinks as it loses velocity and goes out the other side.
So
So
Grok
right in the
says
middle.
this: neck expansion from cavitation, real talk on a human neck, say a 12-inch circumference, roughly 4-inch diameter. You're looking at maybe 2 to 4 inches of temporary stretch. No, that's 2 times, right? Your neck is expanding twice as large. If your neck is 4 inches, right? If it expands another 4 inches, it is doubling in size. And I want you to think about like a necklace right here, right? If you expand the neck, and you can watch this, I did a slow mo of the video when I was doing video spaces where you can see the neck expands out to here. He no longer has a jawline. He no longer has this curve in the back of his neck from his skull because the skin expands all at the same time, and it's like a really fat person who has no neck, right? And they have no distinctive jawline or other features. It's the same thing. His neck expands so much so fast that you can no longer see any distinctive features of his jawline or the base of his skull on the back of his neck, right? So that is from cavitation. Now I'm looking to see what Grok said about the size.
I bet the friction of that, because of how quick it is, would explode the necklace. Even without it being so large, it would break the necklace. But I think it would be large enough either way.
So it says ballistics gel is denser, less elastic than skin and muscle. Those videos, Chris Martinson and others show it ballooning huge because gel's basically jello with no bone or ligaments. Real neck, bone, cervical vertebrae anchors it. Skin tears early, arteries pop, cavitation peaks at maybe 1.5 to 2 times bullet diameter in soft tissue per Fackler studies. So a 30-06, which is 0.038 eight of an inch, temporary cavity, maybe half an inch wide, max 1 inch if it yaws. You see neck balloons in slow-mo? That's shock wave. The shock wave plus blood pressure surge. Where'd it go? Damn it. Okay, here we go. It scrolled on me. You see neck balloons, slow-mo, that shock wave plus blood pressure surge. Looks dramatic, but it's not the gel style explosion. Confidence 87%, moderate to high.
Most of Chris Martinson's tests were done with a pig flank, not ballistics gel, but he did ballistics gel tests also that mimic the shape of a human body.
Someone said at 3:47 she placed Charlie sitting there up to the shot and the necklace releasing with no scrubbing. Blake, 3:47. So we'll go back to that. She says, listen, this is Grok. You're describing dramatic neck balloon, jawline gone, skull base vanished. It really is like a fat person neck. Good job, Grok. That's cavitation in action, temporary stretch from the shock wave. But real world, Fackler and wound ballistics in primaries like wound ballistics say rifle rounds like 30-06 create temporary cavities, roughly 10 to 12 times the bullet diameter in soft tissue. That's 0.308 inch bullet, about 3 to 4 inches wide at peak. So, okay, not 10 to 30 times the size of the neck. My bad. Twice the size of the neck, 4 inches. If your neck is 4 inches, it expands another 4 inches. I just want you to picture this. Here's about a 4-inch neck, right? Somewhere around there. Okay. It doubles to like that big, right? That is
But you're
enough.
still
If
saying it's
it,
30-6 diligent. We're comparing this with 30-6.
how do you explain the cavitation though?
Well,
Like
yeah,
this is where
it is with
So you
smaller
just
caliber.
defeated the whole necklace thing. The reason that it snapped is because the neck expanded. It's a 27-inch necklace. Like you just
well,
defeated
I
that.
think
The
it was
necklace
just
takes
I think it
off.
was just a I think it was just a it was a well, does cavitation occur with a lesser round?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, hollow point. Yeah, it always does, but
Yeah.
it's just not. You can't but you can't ask Grok about 30-6 because there's no way it was a 30-6 that came from his right and out of his left. That was a smaller caliber.
Ask
Like,
Grok if it's
yeah.
possible to cavitate the neck enough to pop a 27-inch necklace.
It's going to answer you.
I don't think it was a cavitation. I think it was the bullet striking the necklace, and it caused it to break and snap as it went
That's
in.
impossible. That's where you
The
go off
neck
the
hit
rails.
how the bullet hit the neck. We saw the bullet hit the neck. How did it hit the shirt?
Did
Oh,
Did
Charlie
did you
wear
see
his
it?
necklace mid neck? He wore it down under his shirt. The wound is up mid neck. It's
but it
defeated.
wasn't hanging low though, right? It was pretty tight. I mean, I want to say it was
It doesn't.
just
It
well,
wasn't hanging where
I mean,
the
it does
wound was.
matter. It does matter because the diameter of the necklace is important in this context. If it's a low hanging necklace, then it has a large circumference, right? Or a large diameter, and it's loose, right? It's loose and it has if it gets shot, it would just fly up and fling around and whatever. If it's a tight necklace with less wiggle room and his neck expands, or expands so rapidly, it might not have been that his. Well, one, did we confirm that the necklace broke? I never confirmed that.
Yeah, she said she was holding found his broken necklace. So she was giving,
100% broke.
yeah,
She
yeah,
said it was broke.
yeah.
Did
She
we
The
was holding it
videos,
up.
the
independently? Did
videos
we?
say it was broke.
Yeah,
The video says it's broke. Okay, and so does maybe the speed of the shock wave snap the necklace, right? He's getting hit
if it
with
was a
a
tight necklace, yeah, if it was tight,
yeah. If
It
the
wasn't.
snap, what?
It wasn't tight. It's a 27-inch necklace. It hung down
Well, it doesn't.
between
I'm
his
saying. I
sternum,
mean,
like
we're
between
not
his
talking
nipples.
about. We're not talking about a toe chain for a truck. We're talking about a little tiny piece of jewelry that doesn't. It's not strong. So my point is if even if the neck didn't expand, enough to just sheer pressure bulge out past the diameter of the necklace, then it would be maybe both the expansion and the rate of expansion, the speed to which the shockwave hit the necklace, it caused it to snap. Maybe him jerking, maybe, when you, have you ever like convulsed or like had or seen somebody convulse where like,
Bro, I'm about to start doing it right now, listening to this.
you're funny, bro.
I love you, dog.
I
Oh,
can't
that's
explain
funny.
the necklace. I mean, I just can't. But the cavitation, the exit wound, I can explain that. But I don't know about the necklace. It's the only thing that makes sense is the bullet struck it. But yeah, unless it was, I don't know, because it did come out in the center. But that means it'd be a lower trajectory. So are you saying that have a clear enough video where you can actually see the bullet coming in to his neck somewhere that I didn't see yet?
He's talking to you. Where'd he go? Did Blake leave? We lost Blake.
Oh, it's
Let's go.
convulsing. Yeah.
Let's go to cruising. Cruising, you're up.
I think Earl has her hand up too.
I
Yeah,
can
we
hear
can
you
hear
now.
you.
Go ahead.
Perfect.
No, that's his profile picture. He's just trying to be smart.
Thank you very much for allowing me to speak. And I originally put my hand up because I wanted to kind of express that you had said on Diligent, you had said 10 to 30 times the expansion.
Yeah, I was the wrong.
Yeah. You might have meant 10 to 30%, right? But
no, it was 10 to 30x in some studies that I saw, but it was the bullet diameter. It wasn't the neck diameter.
Bullet diameter.
Yeah, I was speaking to the wrong thing.
Yeah, but it's all good. We're all here together to try to figure out the end line. But in terms of the necklace, what I have kind of figured out or thought is, the necklace never flew all the way off of his body. It was stuck somewhere on his left shoulder area, even afterwards, right? It was hanging down. So I'm wondering if maybe with the force of the shock wave and the necklace being stuck at that neck, however it was in his clothing, I think that's what caused it to burst. And I also have thought that the bullet could have hit the chain, which caused it to explode. So, I mean, it's really hard to say. I just wanted to put that out there.
Well, I mean, the entry wound that we saw was high up on the neck, so I don't think that the bullet hit the train. I hit the chain, but
that I kind of have rationalized that by thinking that it looked that way because he was falling backwards, so it may have looked higher. I do believe in one video, and I cannot find it, but it was shot from, the video was being taken from his right shoulder area. And I do believe I saw the bullet entry wound before the expansion of the shirt. And so it was under the shirt. I saw it, but I just can't find it again. So anyway.
yeah.
So Diligent, when you say entry wound, are you talking about on the left side? Because that'd be an exit wound. Or is there a video that shows entry wound somewhere from his right side that I never saw?
There's only one visible wound.
Oh, that's the exit wound. Okay, that's the exit wound. Yeah.
No, if there's only one visible wound, how can it be an exit wound?
Well, visible to the camera, but an entry wound on a small caliber bullet leaves a slice and doesn't even leave blood. So if you're shot from the right side, so the blood always travels with the exit of the bullet.
He was shot from the left side.
I don't think he
we
was.
don't know. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he could have been shot from the right side.
Yeah, I think he was shot from the right. And also, the audio and ballistics analysis
Are
they
you
give
saying that the hole we see in his neck
is the exit wound. Yes, sir. 100%.
But there's no visible blood or wound anywhere else. Now we have seen his entire, now we have seen pretty much, now that Candace has released this video, we have seen every angle almost, or most of the angles surrounding Charlie Kirk when he was shot. And still the only visible wound is in that front left corner of his neck.
Right. That's the exit wound. Whenever a bullet goes in, there's not a big spray like you see in the movies. It makes a little slit
There'd be a
like a
little bit of a
knife.
stray.
They're micro. I mean, you'd have to really have a high definition camera to see it. A small amount. But it's so fast when it goes in, the vacuum that the bullet creates as it's traveling outwards, the blood leaves it. That's why when the bullet left, that was the gushing of the blood leaving. It caused a vacuum, and the blood follows the stream, the trail of the bullet. Always. You hardly see the entry wound, hardly, when it comes to a rifle. When it comes to a shotgun or something that's not doesn't have a ballistic tip, a point, then it will. But we're talking about obviously a smaller bullet, a smaller
James
count.
says Erika claims in several interviews that the necklace was taken off by first responders, not during the shooting.
Oh, they broke it. Okay.
That's what he said. I don't know if that's true.
So then the shock wave of the balloon would make it jump, but maybe that didn't break it. I don't know. I just know that she said it was broken, and so I just assumed that it was broken during the shot. Man, it might not have been. I don't know. I wasn't there.
I need to ask Grok.
But I still would bet everything I have he was shot from his right, and that was the exit one on the left. It was a smaller caliber bullet.
You bet everything you have that he was shot, you're saying?
From the right, not the left. Yeah, it wasn't an explosion. It wasn't some kind of, beeper, whatever. No, he was definitely shot. But
Yeah,
also
how
the
was he
ballistics
designated shot?
analysis. So the ballistics analysis that Mike Adams did said there was 0.2 seconds from the shot to impact. That's going to give you a 30 to 70 foot range, not 200 meters or whatever they're saying, 130 yards, I think is what they said the 30-06 that roof was. So we need to be looking anywhere from 30 to 70 feet because it's 0.2 seconds. It'd be 0.8 seconds if it traveled 150 meters,
Blah,
like
blah,
they
blah.
said.
Hey, Diligent, you think he got shot?
The evidence suggests that he got shot, bro.
Bye.
These people, like the he's not dead, the ones who I think he's deceased. The evidence suggests that he's deceased. I think he's deceased. The manner of his demise is definitely up for debate, right? There's been so much about this and what's come out with the Epstein files, and just there's been so much about this that just in like the aftermath of Erika Kirk and TPUSA and how much of a production all of this is. It does seem like almost anything's possible at this point. I wouldn't put it past our government to do anything at this point. Go ahead, Cruzen.
Yeah, I was actually just going to reply to JJ. I think you're the one that said that was, you believe it was shot from the right and it was an exit wound on the left. I feel like it was shot from the left, and since there was no exit wound, okay, and this is going on the unofficial autopsy that we're all being told about, but the bullet stayed inside of his body, but it caused such damage to that very high vascular area. If you think about a gallon of milk that's full, and then when you pour more milk into that hole, where does the milk come out of? It comes out of the same hole, right? So after the bleeding started inside of his neck, it had nowhere else to go except for the path of least resistance, was out through the entry wound. And I feel pretty confident in thinking that.
So a 30-06 has 1,900 foot-pounds per square inch of force. So take a 1-inch dowel rod and drop a ton of pressure, 2,000 pounds, and tell me it's not going to go through and through someone's neck.
Yeah, I don't think it was a 30-06.
Well, they're saying it is. So that's what I'm saying. We're going with what they're saying. It's a 30-06. And so physics says that is impossible. And even a 5.56 will go through someone's neck. Nobody's neck is strong enough to stop any of these. A 5.56 will go through, which is a standard military round, small caliber. It's a 22 caliber. That will go through the front and the back of a bulletproof vest, a level 3 Kevlar vest. I've done it myself. I got a video of me doing it. Went through the front and out the back. And so you're telling me his neck is that strong to stop it so it doesn't exit? That's impossible.
I think it was a gun, a handgun.
It doesn't matter a handgun. I mean, okay. So now we're going with the handgun. Let's go with that.
Saying 30-06 because
That's what they said.
They
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Well, but we don't have to believe that, right? Because there's so much that we are being told that isn't believable. And
Even a
9mm
will go through a neck. So a 9mm typically goes through about 12 inches of mass. That's average. That's average.
Okay.
And so a neck is not 12 inches in diameter.
Yeah, you're much, obviously you're much better with ballistics. I know nothing about that at all. So, I'm going to take your word for it, but I really feel that what I said is the way I'm going to stand.
Okay.
Is that it's an entry wound that the blood just burst out of because that's the only place it had to come out. So anyway.
I mean, that's true. If that would have been a slingshot, that your theory would make sense. It would make a hole. It would hit the carotid artery. It would stay inside and leak
I don't
out.
understand what you're positing here. Are you saying that he was shot from where the back of the head?
Me?
Are you asking me, Cruiser?
No, I'm talking to JJ.
Yeah, I think it was shot not from the back. I think the back right side. I think it was shot from his right
But
side.
we have a clear video of the back right side of his head when he gets shot. There's no
So
indication of an entry wound.
so I saw a video from the front, and there was a small spray on his facing him on the left side, and then
But there's a direct, good, high quality, either 1080 or I think it's 4K video showing the back right of his neck that is there's no indication of a wound there. You see that you see it the entire time. Even after the cavitation, there's no indication of blood or a wound
it was
there.
before the comment. So the video I saw when you first started doing the videos, there was the image from the front, a video from the front, and before the cavitation and before the exit wound, there was a small little mist on his left facing him. So technically his right side, but facing him on the left side, you can see a little tiny mist, and they even circled it, and you can see it. It was tiny, and that would make sense because, like I said, there's not much blood on the entry wound, if any at all. I've seen people shot, and you have to dig for and you see a little slit, like someone cut them with a little razor, like a little scalpel. It's just a little slit. It goes in. The damage is on the inside because that's when it expands because it's a hollow point typically, and then the exit wound's larger than the bullet. That's why it's just a smaller caliber bullet, if I had to guess, like a 5.7. Something to that effect.
So JJ, you see the action of his body.
Yes.
With this video that Candace put out today, we see that
I didn't see her video today. No, I haven't seen that. I saw the other videos, but what's the difference? Front, back, side, left? Yeah.
Well,
I mean, there's a huge difference if you're saying that there's an entry wound in the back or the back right of his neck, and we have
Some more the side by the ear.
We have a person who is standing, and I've talked to this person. We have a person who is standing to Charlie's right, who has a video pointed at his neck when he gets shot, and there's no indication of a wound on the back or the right side of his body when he gets shot. So, like, I don't. Even if you're right, and it just makes a little slit, there would at least be. He's got a white shirt on. There's no blood. There's no hole visible.
It's more of a mist. Yeah, it's more of a mist. What I saw.
There's nothing though. There's no evidence at all that he got shot on that side of his body. Like, there's no evidence because we have a video right there. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not talking about a front-facing video. There is a video coming from the direction that's, the camera is pointing to where you say you think there's an entry wound, and there's no visible evidence, of a wound there.
Because there is no, as I'm telling you, there's no blood when the bullet enters. It's going in so fast, it's like a vacuum. It sucks in and goes out, and then the blood travels the exit wound. Always. There's rarely any blood. It's not like the movies where someone's shot and it sprays blood where the entry wound is. It's always the exit wound, the blood comes out. And so you might not even see any blood at all. So there wouldn't be blood running down his neck because it causes a vacuum. The cavitation is a vacuum. So when it goes in and it creates a wound cavity, it's the force going from one end out to the other causes a vacuum. And so it's like a river flowing downstream. Does that make sense? There would not be any blood for the entry wound. Like I said, sometimes you have to look for the slit. I mean, I worked at the sheriff's department when I got the army, and I've seen gunshots. And it's like, where were they shot? And then the coroner showed me a little tiny slit. And I'm like, there was no blood. It wasn't bleeding anywhere, but the whole of the side was blown out where it exited. And so I'm like, oh wow. And so that's the only reason I know
Okay,
that I've
so
actually seen it.
so not trying to dispute what you're saying, but if we look at the reaction of his body, it didn't push to the left. His body didn't move left when the shot hit him. Like if it was coming from the right side, you would think the body would move to the left.
No, that's the movies too. The body doesn't move like that. The shockwave just expands when the hollow point expands, and it's not like getting hit by a freight train. You're talking about a tiny little diameter bullet. It's not like they're getting hit with a car. So the body's not going to move. It's not going to push the body over. Not a smaller caliber like that.
All right, you guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I just want to say thank you, JJ and Beautiful and Cruisin' and Independence and Money and everybody on stage. Make sure you're following my co-host, Harmony. She hosts her own spaces, so turn all notifications on. Follow Hitch Slap down there. If you want to support what I'm doing, the best way is by subscribing. There's a pink button on my profile. I have a subscriber-only after space scheduled right after this one, and we have a subscriber group chat community as well. Turn all notifications on for my profile on X. Share my Epstein and Kirk investigative content. I don't care if you share anything else or engage with anything else, just those two things. And over on YouTube, turn the bell icon on and like that video. Share it with your normie friends who are not on X. I am going to have I'm kind of like, have been having technical issues trying to host spaces all week. But tomorrow and this weekend, I'll be doing a more thorough deep dive into a few different things around Kirk and Epstein, and more on that later. So have a good night, everybody. Thank you on YouTube for chilling with us, and we'll see you later on. God bless you all.